Hi everybody, I'm Melissa Collier. I am one of the EFs here with the options side of the program, but this presentation is for everybody. It's for online and for options, so hopefully you can stick around. Before we get started, I just want to pull over a little poll for everybody to fill out here. It's just kind of letting us know where you are at with the Strong Mind system. So you can let me know either if you have not logged into your Scholar's email at all, because that would be the first step. If you've logged into your email but not the Strong Mind website, if you have logged into Strong Mind but haven't done any of the logs yet, maybe you've done some of the logs, or if you've done all of the logs too, just let us know that so we can kind of tailor our presentation to that. And I can show you the results too so you can kind of see where a majority of our people are. Okay, so and it's fine. Wherever you are in the process, that's why we're here to help. We just wanted to know where everyone is at. So awesome. We have some people who have done everything, people who are just getting started, and some people who have not done any logs yet. Okay, so Wendy, when you're there, go ahead and let me know, and I can let you take over with the presentation. While she's doing that, I'm going to get started. So here's our agenda for the day. We have we're going to go over some PE ideas. We're going to talk about how to keep track of PE activities in minutes. We're going to talk about the PE logs. We are going to complete some PE logs, and we're also complete the subject activity logs. That's okay, Wendy. I'm fine doing it if you want to just monitor the chat for us here. Okay, so first I want to talk about a little bit about keeping track of your PE activities. Now, this is different for different ages and different programs. So if your scholar is in middle or high school, you will want to work with their teacher to see how they want you to complete the logs, because our middle school and high school teachers, if you're in the online program, they do have certain templates they want you to use. On the screen here, we have included a little link if you want to copy that. That's for people who don't have an idea of how to keep track of their logs. That might be for our K through 5 scholars or our options scholars, just as a way for you to kind of keep track on your own of what your scholar is doing for PE. So if you want to look at that, you can. But in the chat box now, if you want to, if you can give me an idea of what you guys are doing for PE. What are some interesting things that your scholar is doing for their PE activities? You can go ahead and take a minute and type in the chat box what your scholar usually does for PE during the week. All right, I see some Zumba, swimming, soccer, Go Noodle. Oh, Go Noodle is cool. I've heard of that. Lots of soccer, dodgeball, exercises, martial arts, trampoline class. That sounds fun. Hip hop, swimming. Very cool. Walking, Planet Fitness. Awesome. So you guys, it looks like your scholars are doing a lot of different activities for their PE logs, which is great. So we just want to make sure that we get that information, those PE minutes, logged into our system, so that way we can include them as part of your grade. Hiking, very cool. Indiana dance class, awesome. So one thing I want to point out is scholars in K through 5 need to do 100 minutes a week, and scholars in 6th through 12th grades need to do 200 minutes a week. So make sure that they are doing that amount every single week. Ms. Smith wanted me to mention that if your scholar is in high school, they're going to want to talk to their PE teacher. And I want to grab her name up here. Hold on. It is Miss Winter. Thank you. So there is a PE course and a PE log in high school provided by Mrs. Winter. So you're going to want to talk with her exactly to see what she is wanting from that PE course. Okay. And I know that some of the high schoolers, they are enrolled in PE. So again, check with your teacher to see what your requirements are. Okay. That is for online. Thank you. That is for online middle and high school only. If you are an options scholar, you are going to want to do the PE logs the way I'm going to show you here in a minute. Okay? So just to be clear, if you are in K through 5 or in options, you're going to want to do these PE logs that I'm going to show you in a minute. If you are in middle or high school on the online side of the school, you will be doing PE another way. So check with your teacher for that. Okay? These logs for PE are only for K through 5 and options. Okay, so I know that some of you said you haven't been able to log into the Strong Mind system yet, and that's okay. At the end of the program here today, we have some time where we can go over those things with you and help you get in. But I'm going to start just from the Flip Switch or the Strong Mind website. It says Flip Switch on it, but it's called Strong Mind. So you're first going to log in. and I'm actually going to show you on my screen here in just a minute, but I want to make sure everybody knows how to log in. You want to make sure you're using the Scholar email. If you use your parent email, it will not let you edit anything. It'll just kind of show you like a view-only mode, so you want to make sure you're logging in with your Scholar email. And this is for everybody on how to log in. And then you want to make sure you log in with your Scholar-created password. And if you don't know what that is, I'll work with you at the end to get you into the system. Okay, so I'm going to show you from my screen here. Let me get a new share pod out here. And I'm going to stop my video just a second because when I share my screen, it can tend to get slower. Okay, so here's what you will see when you log into your Strong Mind courses. And you can see all of your courses here are listed on the left side. No matter what program you're in, you will have some courses listed. Everybody's going to want to go down to this My Compass course. Your teacher will be different. You will not have Mr. Lewis. You will have whatever your teacher's name is. And you're going to click that My Compass course. And this is done on Fridays. No matter if you're doing PE logs or activity logs, we need to have it done on Friday. Once you see that My Compass course, you're going to go up to the top. There might be some announcements here, but what you want to click is this green Launch Course button over here on the top right. And that's going to take you to the actual My Compass course. So the My Compass course has 3 units, and the first 2 units are, ours actually has 3 units. This one is in the demo school, so it only has 2. But in our actual course, the first 2 units are all about, different aspects of the school and different things that you can do to learn about the system. You want to go down here where you see where it says activity logs, and it will list all of these weeks here that we need to have our logs completed. And what you're going to do is you're just going to click on one of the weeks. I believe ours start at lesson 10, but these ones, you can choose any of them that need to be completed. So you're going to click on that. Another page is going to show up here where it will list the PE if your Scholar is in K through 5 or in options. Again, if you are in online middle or online high school, you will not see these PE logs here. That is done through your teacher, so talk to them. But everybody will have these subject activity logs that need to be completed every Friday. So let me show you first the PE log for K through 5 in options. You just click on the words A1 PE week of, and then whatever week it is. And it'll take you down a little bit. You can also just scroll down. And it will say to indicate the subjects, well, it's going to tell you to indicate what activities you did for that PE log. So you're going to click this Begin New Attempt right here. Again, you just click the words. Now, since we're in the demo school, it will not let me click that part. So I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint to show you what it looks like. Okay, so we did that. We logged in. We clicked My Course. Again, you're going to click on the week over here that you're going to do it for. And then these are what we just saw. You're going to click on the PE. And this is what is going to pop up once you click Begin New Attempt. You're going to see a word box. It's going to say Question 1, Simple Essay. You do not have to write a simple essay. You're just going to type your PE minutes in the box. List out every single day. List out whatever activity it was. And we saw some great ones earlier, taekwondo, hiking, swimming, things like that, trampoline class. And then the number of minutes, 30 minutes. You also at the bottom want to include the total number of minutes. Okay, and again, for K through 5, we want to make sure it's at least 100 minutes. For 6 through 8, it would be 200 minutes. And then make sure at the end you click Submit. We don't want to click. You can click Submit, save if it's earlier in the week, but it won't actually go to your teacher until you click Submit. So make sure that you're hitting that green Submit button as well. Okay. All right, you can scroll down to see that it has been completed. Once it's been submitted, it'll say no attempts left. And that's how you know that it has gone through. Okay, and I'll go back in a minute to show you how you can see that it is complete. There is a box once you submit that says leave a comment here. If you want to change something, maybe you made a mistake on your PE log that you submitted, you can fill that in this box here to change anything and click Post, and that will send to your teacher as well. Okay, so let's go back and we're going to look at, yes. I'm going to look at the activity logs here in a minute, but before I move on, I just want to make sure that you know to only complete the logs on Friday for the week that just completed. We can't have any logs completed early. They have to be done on the last day of the week. If you do that, your teacher will have to reset it for you. So make sure you're only logging in for any logs that have already, for any weeks that have already been completed. Okay, I think I have. Are there any questions so far about PE? I want to make sure it's very clear, and I'm going to see if I can put a notepad up here. I just want to make sure everybody understands that if your scholar is in K through 5 and options, you are doing the Strong Mind PE logs each Friday. If your scholar is in online middle or online high school, please refer to your teacher. Okay? They have their own logs. They have their own way of doing things. Please make sure they're doing it that way as well. Okay? Options, if you are middle or high school options scholar, again, you're going to do your Strong Mind PE logs through the system. All of options will be doing it there. Okay? And if your scholar does not have PE, high school scholars with no PE, then you have no logs. Okay? So just making that clear for everybody. Any questions about anything about PE, how to do the logs, what to do for PE? I don't want to move on until I know that we're good on that. All right. Okay, perfect. Janae let us know that there are only 2 years required for high school. So if your high school scholar has already satisfied those requirements, that's why they would not have PE. So you can always talk to your teacher or counselor for that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the activity logs, which is for everybody. So don't worry about the confusion there because it applies to everybody. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen with you. Okay, so we're still at the PE log here for that week. And let's pretend that we've already submitted it. If you look over here on the left side, there is also a week of September 5th through 8th subject activity log. So I'm going to click on that. And it's kind of the same thing as the PE log. Oh, this one has no attempts. Let me go to a different week. I apologize. Let's go to this lesson 10 here. I'm going to click on this subject activity log. And this is where we get all of our attendance information. This is going to tell us what your scholar worked on every day during that week. So again, you're going to click Begin New Attempt. And it's not going to take me anywhere because it's demo, so I'm going to stop and come back. But one thing I wanted to show you before I go back to show you what that activity log looks like, if you click back up here where it says the week of September 25th through 29th, that will take you back to the home page. And you can see there's all of the weeks for the year listed out over here on the left side. So you can just click in between the ones that you need to submit. So say you've been enrolled since the beginning of the school year and you haven't done any of these yet, you can still go back and do them as long as the weeks have already passed. You're not going to want to do October 2nd through 6th today because we haven't gotten to the 6th yet. We can't do it until Friday. Okay, so going back and looking at what those logs look like. When you click on that subject activity log, it looks like this over here. It kind of looks like a multiple choice type question. And you're going to indicate the subjects that you studied on day 1 of the week. So this would be like the Monday of the week. And you just click. Did your scholar work on language arts, science, math, social studies, elective? Whichever ones they did, you can select all of them if they did all of them. Whatever they worked on, science and math. You're going to do that for every day during the week. If you scroll down, you'll see 5 different days that week, and you want to have something for every day depending on what they worked on. High school online. Learning coaches, please encourage your scholars to log in and do this. I think middle school scholars can do it as well. K through 5, it's up to you. If you think your scholar is able to do this on their own, they can. But no matter what program you're in, online or options, everybody should be logging in and doing these logs. Even if they worked in the system, we need to still have these logs completed for our attendance. And then once you scroll down to the bottom of these logs, make sure that all 5 days are complete, and then you're going to click Submit. Make sure you click that Submit. Again, Save will not send it to your teacher. You have to click Submit. Okay? And a couple reminders. Please make sure these are only done on Fridays. We can't have them done early. And make sure you're logging in through the Scholar account to do this. If you log in through the parent side, it won't let you click Submit. It won't let you enter any information. Okay? Again, once you submit it, it'll say there are no attempts left. You'll see this screen. If you need to make a comment, if you want to tell us a little bit about your week, you can enter anything there and click Post. And then you'll be finished. That's it for that week. You'll see a little green check here, and that tells you that that week is complete. Okay. Another thing I want to show you is I want to show you how to tell which weeks you still have left to complete. Okay, so if you go back to your main screen here, and I'll show you this in a minute, and you click on this A+, it will give you a list of all of the weeks that need to be submitted. And once you've submitted it, a little date will show up right here. And once you have a date for each of these, then you'll know that each of them have been submitted. Okay, so if it's blank, that means, you need to go back and do that one. Okay, so what I recommend today maybe is going back and checking all of these for September, because we've done September, it's over. You want to make sure that you have a date for each of these to make sure you know that these have each been submitted. Okay, and again, we're doing these on the Friday of that week, so not until the 22nd, not until the 29th of that week. Okay. Are there any questions on PE or subject activity logs or anything that anybody else? Okay. Yes, thank you. Christy Smith says, to summarize what I'm saying, make sure online K through 5 will complete the PE logs in their My Compass course. And 6 through 12, you have a PE course with your PE teacher, and your logs will be done that way. Okay, so if you're online, middle or high school, talk to your teacher for more information. If you are 6 through 12 with options, or K through 5, any of the options grades, we're going to be using these My Compass logs. Okay, so we wanted to take a minute to see if everybody could log into their StrongMind website and just make sure, double check, make sure that your logs are complete. And if they're not complete, you can try to complete one now. That way, if you have any issues, we can help you out with that. And if you still need help with logging into your Gmail, you can maybe raise your hand just so I know who still needs help with that part. Karle, I don't know if you want to take over at this point, see if they have any questions or if you want to facilitate any discussion. At this point, too, parents, if you want to let us know if there are any issues that you've run into, any things you've had trouble with, or need help with the StrongMind system, we are here to help. And we want to answer any questions that you have or any ways that you're stuck.
And I see we have somebody typing. Thank you so much, Mrs. Collier and Mrs. Sottile. You guys put in a lot of work and effort into this presentation, and I am very thankful for all of your hard work, as well as for all of our advisors, our coordinators, and everybody. You guys put in a lot of effort making sure we got all this information out to our learning coaches. So we are here to help while you guys are going through and checking your accounts to see if you can get your activity log and PE log submitted, and if you have any questions. So go ahead and type it into the chat box. We are happy to help you. And we do have one so far. We have Ventura. Ventura's asking if it's review mode, student data and course cannot be changed. Yes, so that was one of the questions, or that's a really good question. Make sure that you're logging in with your Scholars email account. And if you're logged in with a learning coach, you're going to get that little error message letting you know that you cannot change anything.
Right, exactly. And I think, if it says no courses, you may want to talk to your teacher, educational facilitator, to see what the issue might be there. They may not have assigned you courses yet, but you should have some courses assigned. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Scholar logins because I think that might be an issue on why you are not able to enter any data. If it says review mode, that means you are in the parent side of it. We want you to get into the Scholar side of things so that way you can actually enter any data. So what you're going to do there is there are 2 steps in actually getting into the Strong Mind website. The first is having your Gmail account set up. Every Scholar has a Gmail account that has been set up for them. The username is their first name dot last name at scholars.compasscharters.org. I know it's a mouthful, but I promise you will memorize it once you enter it in all these different places. So you're going to log into gmail.com with your username as that. Their password is their first name. The first letter is capitalized, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will help you to log into their Gmail account. You want to keep this open because what you're going to do to get into the Strong Mind website is you're going to go to this flms.flipswitch.com to log into the Strong Mind system. You don't have a username yet, well, you do, but you don't have a password yet. So you want to click on this Forgot Password at the bottom. And what that's going to do is that's going to send a link back to this Gmail account so that you can change your password for your Scholar. So that's what you want to log in with. You want to log in with your Scholar email, first.last at scholars.compasscharters.org. That's how you will be able to submit things. That will get you out of that review mode. So make sure you're using this scholars.compasscharters.org email address. Okay, Kelly asked, do we know what's going on with K-12 OLS? Slow K-12. I'm not sure, Karle, if you have any advice for that. I know sometimes when I have tech issues, trying a different browser can help. I'm not sure which one K-12 likes. I feel like it was Firefox. You might want to try that and see if that can help as well. And then also, if you ever have any tech issues, you can also contact our tech support. Wendy, if you want to type that into the chat box, if you know the support email address. I believe it's support@compasscharters.org. Thank you, Janae. Perfect. You can always contact David Brush there. He is our IT guy, and he can help with any issues that you are having on that end. But yeah, I suggest trying a different browser because that can often speed things up. Somebody suggested Firefox. And again, if you are a K-5 scholar who is using K-12 as your website, please make sure on Fridays that you're going into StrongMind to do these activity logs and PE logs as well.
Karle, thank you so much, Melissa. So real quick, for our learning coaches, we've had a little bit of time working with these activity logs and PE logs, so we want to hear from you as the learning coach. Maybe some of you are a little more seasoned, a little veteran learning coach, and you have a great idea on staying organized with this information. Do you log in and do a little bit daily and save it, and then on Friday submit your last day, and then do you hit submit? So we just want to get some tips and tricks from some of our learning coaches that they could share their knowledge with our other learning coaches. So if anyone has any great suggestions for helping other learning coaches with their activity logs and PE logs, we would love to hear that now. This would be a great time to share and help build this community with our learning coaches. Oh, somebody has already posted. That's a great idea, Wendy. She creates a toolbar with the school sites only. Excellent. So bookmarking those, that is great. So you can jump through and get into those accounts really quickly. Excellent. I do the same thing for all of my different sites that I have to get into. So excellent. Yeah, bookmarking that. Thank you, Mrs. Smith. You're going to have your K-5 teacher reach out to you, Mrs. Esparza. Thank you.
I wanted to mention also that if you're still having trouble and you can't log in, our teachers are here to help. We all want to help you guys get into the system and get these logs done. So please call us if you need something. We are willing to walk you through, share our screen with you so that way we can get everything completed. So don't hesitate to contact your teacher or your EF, and we will get whatever issue you're having, get it resolved.
And Wendy mentioned she also bookmarks the site as logs and as logs, not strong mind. So, oh yes, so she's like specific. She makes it very specific what the title is of the page. That's a good idea, because sometimes it just automatically names it, and it can get a little tricky trying to guess what they are. I have a lot of @Compass bookmarks, and so I should go through and edit those. Very good idea. Oh, Christy Smith did mention if for any reason you need a password to be reset, just contact your teacher. They can reset that for you. It will send an email to the scholar's email address, and then you can follow the link and reset that. Very good. Oh, and Wendy, yes, another handy one, storing your passwords in your computer. Yes, if you allow it to remember your passwords. I'm sure there's probably an IT person somewhere out there that's cringing as we say this, but yes, that is so helpful when we have multiple sites that it just helps, because I would write mine down and I keep losing that little piece of paper. So storing them in your computer is very helpful. Great idea.
I wanted to say along with that too, I know that some families have multiple scholars and you can't save multiple passwords through the StrongMind website. But a trick that I learned from somebody is if you use a different browser for each of your scholars, then you can save it on that individual browser. So for example, you use Chrome for one of yours, you save the browser there, or save the password there. And then Internet Explorer for a different one and save that password. That way you don't have to log in and rewrite the password every single time. It'll automatically save it on those different browsers.
This is Melissa Blitzstein, and there actually is a way to create different Chrome accounts for each of your scholars as well. And so each of your scholars can log into their own Chrome browser and have their own separate bookmarks with their own passwords saved. So that is definitely an option. I just want to throw that out there as well.
Thank you, Melissa. That's a great idea. Kelly, yes, sometimes K-12 does have some issues. So if you go to their main website, k12.com, they sometimes will alert all of the families if their website, if they have a known issue that they're working on. And our IT person usually stays on top of all of those as well. So if you were to shoot him an email at support at compasscharters.org, he would probably be aware of it too and could help answer that. But I used to sometimes just check k12.com. When they're doing updates and stuff, it does slow things down. And Therese and Tony gave us an idea about you can also create separate Windows logins. That gives them their own desktop with a browser for their settings and everything. Yes, that is another helpful tool. Thank you. And then user accounts covers it all. So if we just look into the user accounts, very good. So if each profile within your computer, different user account, that's a good idea. Set one up for each of your scholars if you have multiple scholars, and then it would store all the information in there. Great. So many awesome tips and tricks. I love this. Well, for the sake of time, if you have any last questions or suggestions, get those in. If not, this concludes our first ever online Coaches Corner for our 2017-2018 school year. I am so thankful to the wonderful turnout that we had. We love our learning coaches. We want you to feel supported and want you to know that we are here to support you and to help you through every step in the process. And we know the beginning of the year, sometimes it just takes a little bit of extra practice to get the swing of things, and we want to help you do that a little easier. So we are here for you, and we look forward to seeing you at our next session, which will be an evening session on October 18th. That is a Wednesday, so Wednesday, October 18th at 7 p.m. It's going to be the same link. You can check your calendar. Our very own Mr. Stephen Thompson will be presenting. Our topic is strong start organizing our work or work samples, depending on your grade level, and how to submit your work or work samples, depending on your grade level. So we, again, are super excited, again, to have you all here. We look forward to seeing you at our next session on Wednesday, October 18th at 7 p.m. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.